Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new to this channel, hi, I am Madhu Mishra. I am a postdoc at Asia Pacific Center for Theoretical Physics in Pohang, South Korea. And in this channel, I talk about my life as a researcher, research as a career, and other things. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. And I can't believe that it's been 2 whole years since I posted my last Q&A video. So recently I posted this post on my community post and asked you to ask me questions, but I think because I only have few subscribers and I'm super irregular on my channel, that not many people got this post, and I received very few questions. But I do have questions on my Instagram. I received some questions on my Instagram, and I also have some questions on my comment section, so I thought I'll just address everything here. So yeah, we are going to talk about my research life after getting married, research as a career, how is the work pressure here, and yeah, other questions that you have asked. So stay tuned and let's get into it. So I have some questions here. Let's start with the first question. How's life as a researcher? It's so much fun, but it is very individual experience. You can have completely different experience depending on people you're working with. So depending on who is my collaborator, I feel different experiences. So with some collaborators I'm super happy, with some collaborator I'm super stressed, and with some collaborator I am on my edge because they're so super intelligent. So that also happens. So yeah, I have like different experience every other day, and also it depends on like your health, uh, your every situation. So life as a researcher till this point has been extremely good, touch wood, and but it is very individual, depends on who you are surrounded with. So yeah, life as a researcher is that. But you enjoy research. Sometimes you just stopped enjoying research because you are surrounded with so many toxic people around you. So that can happen. Now, what kind of works do you have to do? I am a theoretical physicist, so I do a lot of calculations, and I have talked about it, what I do as a theoretical physicist in one of my video. I will link it down in the description, not here, in the description. So do check that out. I talked about everything I do everything one needs to do as a physicist, as a theoretical physicist. So usually I read paper, I work on Mathematica, do some calculations. Some calculations I do by hand. I do a lot of analytic calculations, but I also plot lot of graphs and super difficult calculations that are there for which I use Mathematica. So if you have seen any of my video, like my vlog, day in my life vlog, you'll see that I'm sitting on my computer working on overleaf, writing paper, LaTeX equations, and in one side I am working on Mathematica, and sometimes I'm also writing, and I attend workshops to understand what is happening, like current what other people are working on, and try to learn from them, like what is the current topic of research going on in my field and try to learn from them. That's what, and try to interact with them to try to collaborate. And I also visit institute to I also visit different institute to advertise my own research by giving talks. So recently I gave a talk on cosmology in string theory, a new paradigm, on a Sequest seminar, which also I will link it down, so you can go and see my talk there. You'll just listen to my talk and see my presentation, but it's my voice, so my name is there, so you can go and see that. These are the things I do as a researcher. Now, how much is the work pressure? It varies. Some days it's too much, some days it's just very relaxed. So it like, if there is a deadline that we need to submit it in this deadline, or sometimes like you can just get stuck in one equations and you're not able to understand what is happening, then it's too much pressure. And I usually feel pressure when I have to give a talk. Then I am like, because yeah, that's when I am like super I feel too much pressure when I have to give a talk. But every time I get a invitation to give a talk, if or anyone asks if you're interested in giving a talk, I always say yes. Although like few days before the talk, I'll feel like I should cancel because so much stress. I feel so stressed giving a public talk, but that's how you should, like, you should build this habit of giving talks and communicating your research. It's very crucial, and I am like, I get scared to give public talks. So yeah, the pressure depends on days. There's too much pressure some days, there is not much pressure. I feel super relaxed and make YouTube videos. Now, about the internship you did, which helped you to get PhD position in ICER. Oh, I did not do any internship to get a PhD position in ICER. I did BSc from a government college, and then I prepared for JEST exam uh, to get admission in ICER as a integrated PhD student. So in ICER, I was not a PhD student, I was an integrated PhD student, which is MSc plus PhD 7-year course. So yeah, I did not do any internship. I just gave in JEST exam. After you clear the JEST exam, you're asked to come there and give interview. So there were 2 rounds of interview. In first round there were some 60 people, and they shortlisted to 15 people, and then 5 of us were selected for the course. So we were 5 or 6 students as an integrated PhD student. Yes, so no internship for me. Now, how to start reading research paper as a beginner and what to read. So to read research papers, I think you should start with, for me, like, it's a very personal thing. Current research papers sometimes gets very difficult to understand, and now I have also understood that sometimes when we read paper, in first 3 paragraphs only we are lost, and then we lose interest because most of the things they write later, not in the front. It depends on the authors also. So some people write very good papers, and some people just very difficult paper to understand. I still, even if in my own field, I sometimes don't understand their paper. So what I feel as a beginner is, if you're interested in any field, try to find thesis of PhD students to understand the field. It's a game changer. I tell you, it's a game changer. When I was trying to understand supergravity thing, I read lot of thesis, and in thesis PhD students write so well, so much detail, because they also write equations, they write it from a student's perspective. So there is, like, their introduction is super amazing. You read introduction, you will understand everything that is happening, like because introduction is supposed to, even if you read my thesis, I think it's so good. My thesis is so good, and I also read so many theses to understand how to write thesis. So as a beginner, instead of research paper, try to read thesis. You will from introduction and their conclusion, you will understand a lot more. And then for understanding, like, what is happening, you can understand from thesis, and also to understand equations, you can, I think, understand from thesis much more. They give much more detail. So as a beginner, you should do that. But when you are a researcher, then you don't have time to read thesis because they are too big. So even when you're reading thesis, read introduction, just most of the introduction, because it's like 10 or 20 pages, but it's written without many equations and in much more explanatory way, so very good to understand. And then when you're planning to read research paper, you go to archive, ARXIV, archive, and then you'll see lot of fields there. So go and select which field you are interested in. Like, you can go for cosmology, you can go high energy theoretical, you can go high energy experimental, and whatever you are interested in, condensed matter and everything. Click there, click on new or recent paper, and then you'll find all the recent paper that have been published on the same day, or maybe a day before or a month before, and then read their abstract. So first read abstract, underline what they are trying to do, and then read introduction and conclusion, and in between you can try to see the equations. That's how you should read. And until unless you're going to work on that, you don't have to spend too much time understanding everything in the paper, and no one understands everything in a paper, let me tell you that. Okay, can you make a sequence of topics from basic to advanced to learn string theory or holography? Also discuss current day's research topic on this area and postdoc opportunities. Okay, this will require a complete separate video. To learn string theory and holography, as I said, read from a thesis. To learn string theory, start reading from thesis. But to learn string theory, one should know general relativity. For general relativity, I have some notes in my website, so I will link down my website, where I gave 4 lectures on a refresher course. I gave some this thing, and I also mentioned references book within the notes, so go and check out those reference book to study general relativity. And after you're done with general relativity, then there are books, but some books are very difficult. For example, I found it as a beginner, I found Polchinski, to follow Polchinski, very difficult. So I think I like reading thesis more. And lecture notes. Oh, lecture notes. Lecture notes, if you go to like HRI, you'll find Ashok Sen's lecture notes. If you go to IIT Indore, you will find Mrityunjay Verma, Professor Mrityunjay Verma. He has lecture notes. He has his own website and his lecture notes are there. So he has lecture notes of holography, lecture notes of string theory, very detailed, very nice, very well written lecture notes. It's very helpful, it's very nice. So go check those out. So lecture notes are much more helpful. Once you have a lecture note, you can also refer to a book, follow that, because just from a book it might be very difficult to follow, but if you have a lecture note which has much more detail, you can make sense of what is written in the book, because it's very compact book. Lot of information has been left out for a reader to understand, but people who are already know everything, they understand what they are trying to say with one statement. But as a beginner, you might find it difficult to understand. So lecture notes of a professor who has already worked on this thing is very helpful. So I will link down all those details in the description, so go check that out. And if you need any other information, like any other references, please DM me on my Instagram so that I can provide you there. All right, so okay, I also get lot of questions about archive endorsement. So I posted this video long back ago about my archive paper summation, and below that video I get comments about, can you endorse our paper? And I just wanted to reply saying that I cannot endorse a paper of unknown person, although even if you have done like a good research, I should know you and I should know your research, or I should be part of your paper to be a endorsement. So I will please try to understand that I cannot endorse a paper. So try to get endorsement from a professor who knows you and your work. Any professor who works on a research institute and who already has a paper, they will be able to endorse you. I only endorse people who I have worked with and I know them. So I cannot endorse a YouTube subscriber. Sorry, so super sorry. So I already said that I regret that I am unable to endorse your work. To ensure proper validation, I recommend seeking endorsement from a teacher within your department. So please don't ask me to endorse your paper. Okay, there was one request. Please make videos for newly married women, how to deal with PhD research and family life. Okay, so basically talk about newly married women. Okay, so I got married last year on 2024, 31st January 2024. Recently we celebrated our first 1 year anniversary. Not much has changed for me, and that is why I have refrain myself from posting anything about this, because okay, I'll tell you the situation right now. I am from MP. I have done my graduation and this thing in South. I got married in Himachal. Now my in-laws live in Himachal. My husband is also a researcher. We met during ISER, during our PhDs. So we have known each other for 7 years before we got married. He's also a physicist. He also works on theoretical physics. He is a postdoc in KIAS, which is in Seoul. I am Seoul, South Korea, and I am a postdoc in Pohang, South Korea, which is like 4-hour bus journey, 4 or 5 hour bus journey, and that is why every weekend I travel, or he travels here. So that's why I don't have time and I don't post regularly. Now the thing is, because I live so far from my country, and I'm not living with my husband, so nothing has changed. I am living life as a single student, single person, like not as a newly married person. His family, my family, they're all super supportive. They have not asked me to change anything about me and my life. So I still post videos, I still do go for workshop, I am still doing research, late night research. Nothing has changed. So if anything changes, I will let you know. So nothing has changed as a researcher, as a married woman in my life. Touch wood for that. And they are super supportive, and yeah, I am still living my life as I lived during my PhD. My parents also supported me when I did not visit them for years and years for any of the festival. His parents also understand because he has lived the same life during his PhD. He has also worked similarly hard. He's also doing the same research that I'm doing here. So they understand what goes behind it. We are in the same field, so they understand everything. So, and he also understand because he's living the same life. So there is nothing changed. So, and I have, like, I don't know, I am not a good person to talk about the problems as a married life. But as a woman, uh, there have been instances where I've seen, like, there is a in ISA, when I was in ISA, there was a conference which was for women in science, where a lot of women in PhD came, and also professors who shared their experiences, and there was some horrible experiences based on the gender. But lucky for me, I have not faced any situation like that. I've been always been surrounded by very good people who have treated me equally well. I think I've been more privileged. I've been treated like I've got more privilege because I was a woman surrounded by all men in my field, so they took care of me. They were more protective, more caring. So yeah, high energy physics in India, the community, high energy physics theoretical community, they're so helpful. Like, we attended SERB school, I attended ST4, which was student organized conferences, where I met most of my seniors. And when I was applying for my postdoc applications, they were super helpful. Like, I will email any of them that I'm writing this application, please could you help me how to write an application, because they're already doing a postdoc and I wanted to know how to apply for a postdoc, what one writes in a research proposal. And they would help me, like, they'll go beyond their ways to help me. Like, they would send their own applications, what they wrote, and they will read my applications, and they will read my they'll make corrections on my applications. So super helpful. No, I have not faced anything but more care because I was a woman. But of course, I have also learned about professor treating students horribly because they were women, and they were said that you are going to get married or not pursue anything in research, so there is no point giving you attention. And you're, like, while joining, they were asked, when are you going supposed to get married, when are you planning to get married, when are you planning to get pregnant, and this will affect our research, so blah blah blah, blah, blah. Lot of problems. I've been very fortunate, very lucky to be surrounded by very well groomed men in my life during my research. Here also, there are some Indian uh, students who have helped me when I was coming here. Like, they're always helpful. Now here I have my husband, so I don't have to ask for anyone's help. But whenever I am required, I just message once, and they'll be there. So even during research, I think if I have faced anything, it's because I'm not very smart. And I accept it, and I know it. I know that if I have not been asked to collaborate on something, because I have nothing to give to them, and why would they want to collaborate with me if I don't have anything to give it to them? Just because I'm a woman? No. So they are ready to collaborate with me if I have something to give it to them. They don't care if you're a man or woman. You just need to research. Also, you should be open to talk. Like, if you don't say that you know this thing, they are not going to ask you that if you know this thing, right? So I have not, but I know that in experimentalist, in experimental physics, in chemistry, in biology, there are so much toxicity in the lab. Oh my god, I have mostly heard about toxicity in labs. In theoretical, it's very individual process. There are some toxic professors who don't help you, who are just like putting pressure on you. So yeah, not because I'm a woman. I think even to men they do the same thing. But for women, the issue is that you get married and then you move out, and then all their work, hard work that they did on you will be wasted. That's where they're like, well, we don't want to help, we don't want to take a PhD student because she's a woman and she'll get married and she'll move on. And yeah, that's the issue. So fortunately, I have not faced any such problem till now. But in future, if I do, I will share. I know like experiences where women have faced lot of toxicity just because they were women. So yeah, but it's not a first hand experience, so I don't know if I want to share anything like that. Okay, I got a very detailed question here on my Instagram about BSMS course. So uh, for choosing major, can I choose something like biochemistry, biotechnology, or should I have to choose only biology? So you choose a subject as a major, like you choose physics or chemistry or biology or maths, and you have to study most of the subjects based on this thing. Some subjects are like you everyone has to study, and then you have some advanced subjects. For example, in physics there are some subjects, for example quantum mechanics, classical mechanics, everyone has to study. But you can choose your advanced based on if you want to do non-linear dynamics, or you want to do advanced cosmology, if you want to do advanced stat mech, right? Statistical physics everyone has to study, but if you are interested in advanced, then you choose advanced stat mech. So there are some courses which are called elective courses that are up to you, but there are some courses that are like normal courses that all the physics student has to study. So when you choose your major, you choose physics major, and your degree you will get is BSMS degree with physics major maybe, but not BSMS biotechnology degree. You get BSMS degree. So even when I got PhD, I got PhD in physics. There was no subject mention. We had to ask ISER to give another certificate with subject mention that I've done my PhD in this subject, in supergravity. So it's just called PhD physics. That's it. Doctor of Philosophy in PhD. That's the degree I got. I did not even MSc also, it says MSc physics. Nothing, no supergravity, no biotechnology, no nothing like that. Yeah, I hope this answers your question. And yeah, and there was some request about making videos on how to prepare for this and that. They will require a separate video, so if I get some time, then I'll make that video. Today itself I shot 2 videos, so I'm going to upload. You'll get 2 videos in like a week gap, and then there might be 1 month or 2 month gap because I'm traveling again. So yeah, I'll talk about that. I will talk about my recent journey. I am traveling to IIT Indore soon, so I hope I'll talk about IIT Indore and my experience. Okay, there was one important thing I wanted to say. Uh, okay, I'm finally addressing it. There was one question also. Why I deleted ISER TVM video. So there's something that I can't say. I deleted the video and I wanted to announce that I will not. Okay, see you in my next video. I hope this answers all your questions, and I'll see you soon in another video, maybe another one where that I'm going to record now. So 3 weeks you'll be getting video every week. Every Sunday there will be one video. Imagine that. See you in my next video. Till then, bye. I hope you have watched till here. If you have, then please hit the like button, subscribe the button, and hit the notification, because I'm super irregular for you to get notified. Notification is very important. Otherwise, you'll miss the video. So thank you for supporting. Till then, bye-bye.